Why was One Punch Man Season 3 Episode 8 the best one so far? We're gonna find out in this video. TLDR, it actually moved. They actually gave us animation with actual meaningful direction. Isn't it crazy?
Sliding man.
Mm-hmm.
One sliding man.
Yeah.
No.
3
sliding man. One Punch Man Season 3 Episode 8 has one of the big fights this season, and did they deliver?
Yeah, I think they did. I think that this is presentable. It hit a threshold where I am like, okay with this. I'm like, yeah, this is a good fight. It got me hyped up. Could be absolutely way better. I think it delivered.
They did. Now, I think it's not flawless, of course, in this Hell's production. The fact that they actually tried something ambitious is commendable on its own, but with the help of 3D, it was...
I love this scene right here, bro. This fucking lighting of the torches in this hallway was cinema. Maybe not cinema, but this part was like when I realized that, like, oh my god, they're gonna try for this episode.
3D, it was well done, to say the least. Ambitious boards and the animation also keeping up with it is beyond my expectation for this season. I'm not gonna do a manga section, by the way. I thought it was gonna be tiny bursts of cuts for the flashy flash fight, but most of it was moving. Great usage of 3D tracing for the fight to make it more dynamic with the camera work, because of course, if you can't tell, most of the fight looks CGS because they did use 3D layouts for the fights.
Okay.
Basically what I mean by that, they made models. It could be simple skeleton models.
Lancer.
And use that, then have people animate over it. So it
Is that similar to rotoscoping?
that, then have people animate over it. So it's easier to get the perspective down with the camera moving all over the place. So it's more time sensitive. I don't know if there is.
I don't even know what rotoscoping really means. It's just when people are moving. It's usually in using examples where characters are like dancing and moving around, and it looks like a 2D character doing all these things, but it's like, you know, it's like a real person doing it, and you're kind of like overlaying on top of that, right? But this is like overlaying on top of the CG. Yeah, I don't know, but hey, it works. It worked well for this episode.
Any raw CG models? Some definitely look like it, but guys, I haven't slept to decide of CBA. That story was very volumetric and they did it well with the shading. I haven't slept the models. Some definitely look like it, but guys, I haven't slept to decide of CBA. That's
Guys, I haven't slept up as CB. What's going on with you, Senshi? Get your sleep.
story was very volumetric and they did it well with the shading. Also to make it make sense. This is not a new thing. ufotable use it quite often for some of their shows. It's not flawless. There is still a lot of errors, like the very off transitions, definitely some layout butchering. Still, the music was changing a lot of the time, but it didn't bother me this episode. And the pacing for the whole episode was decent. It didn't make me wanna die, you know? The second half was nothing special. There is some really cool cuts.
Yeah, the second half is, I think, pretty... It's not the exciting part, but I was impressed with, you know, Child Emperor animation is actually, you know, being good. I thought that second episode was just gonna be RGB filters and nothing happening, but a lot of the, you know, attacks that he was doing and the gadgets that he was showing and the transformations, like the dog guys, it was good.
Cool cuts by Aoki with some mecha transform scene, really nice by him. But I love that in the flashy flash segment, we got like 1 or 2 disco stuff, and the second half was just boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, they love that
disco,
shit.
Boom.
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna have another one. This episode was
at least the fucking lollipop is finally being eaten, right? For the first time, like, we're seeing character acting of, you know, Child Emperor eating his lollipop, which is crazy compared to the before where it's just like fucking attached to his face, glued to his face, not moving.
Okay, you're gonna have another one. This episode was storyboarded by Shinpei Nagai and directed by 3 people. Shinpei Nagai himself, Miyuki Ishida. Also, I might just be tired, but I don't remember Ishida being credited as assistant director for the show. And Tetsuro Tanaka. I think Tanaka mostly helped direct the action scenes with a lot of the CG assistant stuff.
Cool.
Because he has a lot of credits in CGI
Mugen Gacha!
for G-Stuff projects.
Zenshu!
And some other ones like Studio Orange Animes and Zenshu.
What? What's going on here? What are you doing? It's that fucking Beastars anime, ain't it? No, this ain't Zootopia. Ah, I recognize that fucking Judy Hopps ass from a mile away. What? It's all over Twitter. What am I supposed to do? It's just fucking everywhere. Anyways.
Animes and Zenshu. If we didn't remember, JC Stuff did the CG for that. Finally, Studio Moe is credited in this season. Studio Moe helped with some episodes in OPM Season 2, and they recently did a co-production with JC Stuff, being Magi Rumiere. This is from the same production line.
Oh, this is last season or a couple seasons ago. Magical Girl stuff, we skipped it, but yeah, I remember this one.
By the way, with JC Stuff's own in-house CG team, so you know they be cooking something.
Skimpy dressed girls, you know, fighting against tentacle monsters. Okay.
The episode was again partially outsourced to
Good lord!
Xiaoshen, and most of the same subsourced to Woji Xiaoshen.
I don't even know how to pronounce the Woji Huaxian. I don't know, bro, but Wuxi Huaxian, China. That studio shows up a lot over and over again, right?
And most of the same subcontractor studios in last week's episode and episode 5, like the AD's key animation and second key animation.
Why are these Korean names though? Wuxi Huaxian. That's you're butchering. That's not how you pronounce it. But why is there Lee Seo-jin, Cho Si-won, you know? Son Ji-hye, Jung Young-ho. Like, why is there Korean names in this Chinese studio?
Key animation and second key animation. I don't know which part these three directed accurately, so yeah. This is definitely a sign that yes, they can make a good product with enough time, but of course, I knew that because I've watched a lot of JC stuff, but most people don't.
I don't know which JC Stuff anime this one is, but I do know of Mugen Gacha happening this current season. The 12 series, you know, Danmachi, JC Stuff can absolutely do it.
But most people don't. Again, this is not the full potential.
That's Railgun?
This was still a time crunch. It was still incomplete. A lot of bad drawings.
Yeah. Hellfire. Okay, Hellfire, chop, drawing, art. Yeah. And like this, listen, the falling rocks. It did get very jarring at a certain point.
Corners and blah, blah, blah more. But you see the potential of what this project could have been. I'm mostly going to talk about the first half because there's nothing that
Hellfire does have a Zempic face. Yes, it's like shrunken in.
Was crazy to talk about besides the Aoki stuff and some nice boards with the shading. I like it. They're playing around with it, accompanied with some nice art direction sometimes, but I feel like the drawing for
the rooms here look good.
Also, the movement, it didn't make it that appealing. Still like the ideas. Coming back to the flashy flash fight, it's very commendable that they actually trace the 3D models and make it 2D. The 3D assistants make it very useful for the fights.
They should do this more.
More dynamic. A lot of scenes really utilize it to its advantage, and you know.
This is my first time hearing about this technique. I have no understanding of production value, to be honest. I kind of know what I'm talking about, not really. But like, so what is this technique called? It's not rotoscoping because that's tracing over real people. This is tracing over CG models. So you use 3D tech. You have CG models, right? Like, and they're the ones performing movement. And then after that, you draw on top of that with 2D. That's it? Is that a commonly used technique? 3D tracing? I like 3D tracing, like CG tracing. I don't know. But is that like a common technique that a lot of studios do? Or a lot of director and animators do?
They actually use CG for something useful. It's not because the studio can only do 3D stuff. Am I right, retarded?
Oh my god, Studio ACAT, bro. The thing about Studio ACAT and Tibet is how they love flexing. Like, you would think they want to hide this abomination, right? But they kept showing it. Over and over, like for no fucking reason, they kept showing this weird beady-eyed fucking 3D monsters. Remember Sylvia? How they butchered fucking Sylvia? Sylvia kind of looked like fucking Gojo Satoru mewing, but like chopped. I don't know. They're like proud of this shit. I'm like, are you serious? Do you see this abomination you made?
Wolf. Oh, good doggy. Again, it's not perfect like masking scenes with digital effects and using speed lines to mask the background. The character interacting with the 3D background is nice, but there were still instances where the 3D background doesn't really mix well with the 2D foreground that make it very floaty. Same with the fight itself. Sometimes there is a lack of impact because some stuff is unpolished, but they really played a part in this episode. The hallway scene was a nice setup. Really reminds you of
I love love the hallway scene so much. It just set the stage.
They really played a part in this episode. The hallway scene
was the camera work.
Really reminds you of Rengoku scene from the movie. Some really nice tight choreography
Cool.
fight in the hallway. Now we are falling down. This sequence was pretty clean. You can tell the difference with this scene when people were falling down to the Infinity Castle scene when everyone was just falling down. They used the same technique, 3D model tracing, but you can see in Demon Slayer most of the time it doesn't move like CG because the character design itself is quite volumetric itself, and the scene was polished, unlike this scene. But
so 2 examples of a very similar scene, similar technique. It's just that Demon Slayer has so much polish that it looks more seamless compared to One Punch Man.
Polish, unlike this scene, but still a nice scene here.
Okay.
With Flashy Flash falling down. Really nice that they blurred the background here so it doesn't distract you with the over texture wall.
Oh my god, the ground there.
Flashy Flash. The speed was captured really well with them running all over the place and the colorful lines,
the lights
going everywhere.
I saw a manga comparison of this scene, and the manga was good, but the anime I feel like was perhaps even more impactful. The manga one was very light and clean and concise, but this one was fucking jaggedy and everywhere, and maybe it portrays the speed even better.
A limited technique, but it captures it. One of maybe the only scene without 3D assistant is this sequence. The
flashy kick
for this went uncredited, which
flashy flash.
Idea, very Canada style with the time. The animator for this went uncredited, which is a smart idea.
Because if it was public, then people would drag their name. Twitter drama. I don't know. Like, I want to know who it was to be like, damn, all right, you delivered this fight and I appreciate you. Thank you so much. But I think that, you know, for every, you know, thank you, you get like 10 fucking people, you know, crying and complaining. So I get it.
Very Canada style with the timing and the light flare also. You can see the stretching of the blade because it's like in slow-mo, and the drawing for it are so good.
This part felt a little bit awkward, but then I had to realize that like this is supposed to be slow motion, right? Him catching the blade and everything slowing down is supposed to be slow motion as he jumps off to do the flashy slash, right? So this is happening in fractions of a second, but part of it kind of felt awkward with the hold and release, but still really cool scene.
In slow-mo, and the drawing for it are so good. Again, the transition between this and this cut, you can see the disconnect. Something was missing. I'm guessing they had to cut some of the layout in this, so yeah. The repeated kicks was limited, but packs a punch or packs a kick, and the final blow by Flashy Flash was nice, although the initial slash was limited, but after that we got some nice impact frames with even one of them spelling
Flash.
Cool Easter egg.
Nice.
And after that we got some nice effects by
the rocks here look good. I actually didn't mind the rocks falling here, but later on the rocks became very jarring.
probably Kazunori Ozawa. I love also they made this one singular smoke a still. Then the next after that was just like 5 to 7 different smoke effects that's moving. The drawing quality was more consistent.
Yeah, the smoke effects that people definitely, you know, do not. I feel like smoke effect like is something so. Like if you're not initiated to care about production value, then you won't care about this shit, right? But like when you have actual, even like flame, right? Different textures and colors of flames. Like the CG flame that you saw for Orochi stuff versus some of the flames that you see, let's say for in solo leveling, completely different. Like the smoke here, right? It's not CG, it's just hand-drawn smoke with like different layers of coloring, and it like expands and blows up, and it's nice. These are the little things that makes you, you know, appreciate that like they're trying.
The next after that was just like 5 to 7 different smoke effects that's moving. The drawing quality was more consistent this episode, and more importantly, the pacing and overall direction for the episode itself was well put together. Not great, but it didn't really bother me with the amount of different OSTs playing, because
yeah, there was no awkward like Episode 5 kept doing this. They would spam the shit out of the Garo theme abruptly every time it was his time to shine, but it would happen for like 3 to 4 seconds and then cut, and then it's Garo time again. And at a certain point, you're spamming this like iconic theme over and over again where it's like, it's comical. It's like, oh, it's that theme again. It's kind of like the same thing with the RBG filters where no one, I feel like the RBG filter, like, we've seen stuff like this happen in other anime too, but there's got to be like a moment and a timing when you do it, right? But if there's no like creative vision and an artistic direction in when to know how to utilize these filters or the soundtrack to elicit a specific type of emotion that's supposed to be impactful, and you're spamming it, it loses its meaningfulness and it becomes funny.
Sometimes they actually don't have music playing, so it lets it breathe. Definitely enjoy this way more than the previous couple of episodes. I left this episode feeling surprised because I wasn't expecting any of that. Next episode is probably when Takashi Hashimoto appear, since
Child Emperor stuff.
Teased it in his Blue Sky account. I'm still gonna keep my expectation low because I don't want to get hella disappointed. Like,
yeah, you're gonna, it hurts, right? But you still have to hope for the best. Prepare for the worst, but like hope for the best. I hope that we get an episode that I can definitively call 8 out of 10. I don't want a 7 out of 10. No, I want it to be a great episode all the way through, and for me to say, yup, that was a great episode of One Punch Man. 8 out of 10. Hopefully that's what I say this coming Sunday.
Like episode 5 and ruined my night. I really hope we get to see Aoki a lot more next episode, since the part that he did animate for this episode
transformation
were good,
scene.
But I know, and some of you know, that Aoki can do way better.
Way better.
That. It's just that hopefully they can make it to the final product. I'm sorry if I sound less energized because
you sound sick.
I haven't slept yet. Nice. If you guys like the video, leave
a
a
like.
like. If you hate it,
leave a like. Even this scene where Hellfire is talking, you know, about his regrets and the reflections in the blood and the tear dropping and in the ripple effect. This is nice.
Leave a like, comment down below what your thoughts about this episode, and yeah, hopefully in the video. See you guys next time.
Bye bye. Wait, we got some special. Oh,
hello.
Yeah.
Does she have cake?
I don't know. Kinda.
From this angle, she doesn't look like
more.
Look like she has that much of a cake.
It's a nice shape. It's just that the booty ain't popping out as much. Anyways, that's pretty much it. And hopefully that you learned why this episode was so good. I think the biggest part that I was unaware of is obviously the tracing over the CG models to make the fight scenes good. In fact, that's something that Studio Ufotable does all the time. It's just that they're the masters at it and it's way more polished, so it's going to be seamless, while some parts in One Punch Man is going to look very awkward at times. But overall, an amazing experience for me because of how much we've been let down, and it feels nice that like, hey, we got to give in that bone, you know, it's a nice little treat. Will the quality stay out through the weeks? I don't know. I feel like we should be expecting a good episode coming up this coming week though, but I don't know anything about after episode 9, right? I think that episode 9 could be the last one and that's it. But hopefully, again, I just want a Blue Lock season 2 situation happening. You don't even have to give me a good one for 10 and 12, 10 and 11. If you can just show for the finale and deliver something so good that it's a Christmas present, then all right, I'll take that and be like, thank you. Thank you, Bandai Namco. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Go check out Sinchi's channel right over here. Go give it a like and check out his other content, and I'll see you next time.